welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Tiffany Ong. I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist. I have my own private practice focused on sports nutrition and weight loss. And if you're new here, please click the subscribe button down below and click the notification bell so that you can get updates on when I post videos. It's kind of been sporadic, so hopefully with that you're able to see exactly when I'm posting some updates or new fun things. I do have some new ideas and projects planned for this channel, so I'm excited to release that soon. And if you are not new here, welcome back. I'm glad to have you. So every Monday I do these Monday quizzes, as you might have seen in previous videos, and I basically post questions on my stories and you guys can participate and do like a multiple choice quiz, and then I go over them in these videos so that you guys kind of get those answers explained more in depth. So we're gonna hop right into that today. I did a lot for this past week based on meal planning and meal prepping, so that hopefully you guys can use those tips to your advantage and start, thinking about meal prepping a little bit differently, because it doesn't have to be such a daunting thing. But anyways, going into the first question, which food is likely to expire the quickest? A, bell peppers, B, cucumbers, C, arugula, D, green beans. So the answer is C, arugula. A lot of you got that right. I'm glad to see it. Most of you probably experienced this in your own kitchens, but yes, the green leafy vegetables do tend to go bad the quickest. A lot of times it's because the water moisture is trapped in those bags that they come in, and so that deteriorates the vegetable itself pretty quickly. Cucumbers, bell peppers, and green beans, you can actually keep them in your fridge for a pretty long time. Sometimes I've left them in there for like 2, sometimes even 3 weeks. I wouldn't recommend that just because, you don't want to risk that food safety bit. But if you are someone who feels pressured by keeping vegetables in your fridge and having them go bad and resulting in food waste, then I would definitely recommend those kinds of vegetables. Other vegetables that also don't go bad that quickly can be things like onions, mushrooms. You do have to be careful with the mushrooms and make sure they get a little bit more air circulation in the fridge, but also tomatoes, if they're the small ones, they can stay intact for pretty much like a week and a half. It is a little bit shorter of a time compared to the others, but hey, whatever is going to last a little bit longer than green leafy vegetables. Question 2. Which protein cooks fastest for meal prep? A, chicken breast, B, tilapia, C, pork chops, D, salmon. The answer is B, tilapia. So a lot of you also got this correct, and again, a lot of this may be from experience, but fish, especially whitefish, will definitely cook faster than poultry or meats, depending on the meat. Like if it's steak and you're searing it for like a couple minutes on each side to get it medium rare, that's usually the norm, then obviously that's going to be quicker. But the chicken breast, pork chops, and even salmon, because you want to make sure the inside's thoroughly cooked, and they tend to be thicker cuts too, that's what's also going to cause more cooking time. Tilapia tends to be really flat, just like flounder or even sometimes snapper, and so those will definitely take less time to cook. Cod is unfortunately a little bit thicker, so just like salmon, it would probably take longer to cook than tilapia. 3. How can you reduce meal prep time? A, prepare each item separately. B, do other household chores while waiting for cooking time. C, defrost proteins in fridge several days in advance. D, play music for motivation. Now the answer is C, defrost proteins in fridge several days in advance. And the reasoning is because if your proteins are already defrosted, you don't have to spend that time defrosting them in the microwave or running them under water, which you really shouldn't do because it's not safe, before you have to cook it that day. So if you do that a couple days in advance, you don't even have to worry about it. It's just sitting in your fridge defrosting on its own. The other things don't necessarily decrease meal prep time, such as preparing each item separately will increase the cooking time, because if you're focusing on one thing and then waiting till that's done and then focusing on another thing and waiting till that's done, obviously you're not being time efficient or multitasking. Doing other chores while waiting for the food to cook is also not going to be the best, because yes, it might save you time in your other daily activities, but it's not necessarily going to decrease the meal prepping time itself. Playing music for motivation, also, depending on the person, it can actually slow you down because maybe you're getting in the groove of things. So, C is the right answer. 4. Which on-the-go snack will give the most quick energy? A. Goldfish, B. Beef jerky, C. Carrot sticks, or D. Nuts? The answer is goldfish, and the reason why is because that has the most carbs and that will be digested the quickest for that quick energy. Yes, the other items might have a lot more energy in terms of calories, such as nuts, which is why I'm guessing a lot of you chose that answer. But that is a very high fat, high protein food. So if you need quick energy, you're not going to be grabbing nuts for like a pre-workout fuel 15 to 30 minutes before you work out. It's likely going to actually slow you down because your body is focusing more energy on digesting those fats and proteins rather than using that digested fuel for your energy during your lifts or, cardio or whatever you're doing. If you're going on a hike, that's when something like that would be better because it's more calorically dense and the energy is being dispersed throughout your activity. But for quick energy, you want to go high carb, low fat, low protein, which is goldfish. Also, carrot sticks is very high in fiber, and that's another thing that will cause a very slow digestion, and it doesn't offer really any carbs, maybe a couple grams, but nothing major, so that's not going to be a good energy source either. Last question. Which supplement can be helpful before lifting? A. Protein powder, B. Pre-workout, C. BCAAs, or D. Vitamin E? Answer is B. Pre-workout, and a lot of you got that correct. Obviously, it's called pre-workout for a reason. It's meant before your workout. Protein powder is something that can be helpful after you work out, but that is not something that you want to take in before. And going off the last question, that's because it's also a very high protein food. It's a protein supplement, so it's not going to be digested that well during your training, so you want to wait until after. BCAAs are branched chain amino acids. That's also something that you want to have after you work out because that's when your muscles want to increase that protein synthesis, and that's when you want those amino acids to come in. Vitamin E is just like kind of a throw-in thing that I did there, but that's not really going to be helpful before you work out. Maybe on a daily basis if you're deficient in vitamin E. Always make sure you test your deficiencies or know what you're taking and why you're taking it, especially if you are recommended to take it by your doctor before you actually start taking supplements. Don't just take them willy-nilly just because you heard it helps. You have to see what's individualized for you. And if you need help with that, hit up your girl, Tiffany on Nutrition. You can visit my website. I'll link everything in the description box below. But I do one-on-one nutrition counseling, and so if you do need that individualized help, I'd be happy to be there for you. But other than that, that's the rest of the quiz. And so again, I've been very inconsistent lately because I've had a lot on my plate lately. Maybe I'll do another update video on what's been going on with my life. It seems like you guys are more interested in that than these quizzes, but hey, I will not stop doing educational content for you. And again, I will have other content coming through this channel, so stay tuned for that. I'm really excited to show you guys what I'm up to. And as always, eat well, train often. I'll see you guys soon.